What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Rat's Den. It's System Wave, and today I wanted to kind of go over a character guide and build, because I haven't done any of those in the past. But I thought that, I've gotten to a good point in Diablo 2 where I can talk about certain builds, and today we're going to start out with the Amazon, specifically the Javazon. As you can see here, got some adjustments made to the display. I wanted to make sure I can include the necessary statistics in the top left corner. Kind of found a cool setup for it anyway. If I wanted to bring on the map for Diablo, it's not disruptive. And then you can see the frame time and the FPS and the graphics card that I'm using. Uh, Speaking of which, I just ordered a new graphics card, so the statistics in the top left corner will probably change to my RTX 3060 in the future. But for now, we're still rocking the RX 580. Still an impressive graphics card, if I might add. Especially if you're going to play something like Diablo 2 Resurrected. But with that said, let's get right into the build. So, we're going to go over the gear first. This is a Lightning Amazon, a Lightning Fury Amazon, so a Javazon. And I focused primarily on run walk and increased attack speed for this build. A lot of other people will say, stack skills, resistances, all kinds of stuff, and you can see right here, right off the bat, that my resistances are extremely low. I do have the ability to get to proc a resistance boost, but for the most part, the Amazon pretty much doesn't need it since it's focused on speed all around in your attack and your movement speed. Actually, let me show you my statistics for attack speed. It's 100% increased attack speed, 120. This can change to 115 based on the weapon that I'm using. But yeah, I pretty much tend to use these two because the run walk is fast. It tightens itself. So again, starting off with the weapon, we have Titan's Revenge. And we're using Titan's Revenge because of the run walk. I really enjoy run walk speed in this game. I want to be fast, and I think it actually helps avoiding monsters in general. Again, this is not probably going to be a PvP build. It's going to be specifically focused on PvM. I feel like this build is something that makes the game kind of retain its initial challenge in the end game as well. But you're still godlike pretty much. But you're not this like invincible person who can take on a bunch of hits. You're more so like on the glass cannon side. And usually when you have a glass cannon set up, you're kind of squishy as well. Like you can be killed pretty quickly. But yeah, Titans is the weapon. I have T-strokes on switch, so when it comes to like a single enemy or enemies who can't be canceled out with the Sundered Charm, I switch to this, and it kind of makes the enemies who are a little bit more lightning resistant less resistance, and it makes them squishier. So I switch out to this weapon whenever I run into those types of situations. Going back to the main portion, the shield is going to be a spirit, all around good shield. Gives me some resistances, but I'm really here for the 2+ skills, the vitality and the mana. All the other statistics are pretty nice. I do like the faster hit recovery. But spirit is kind of common and easy to get, so y'all should be able to get this. Moving right along. We've got a High Lords, it's pretty typical. Again, we're looking for increased attack speed. Deadly Strike on this is actually pretty cool. And it also has lightning resist, so not bad at all. For the boots, I'm using Natalia's. Again, I want high run walk speed. 40% is here, and I have lightning resistance, so all in all, not bad at all. I've got, of course, a classic Ravenfrost. I'm here for the Cannot Be Frozen. The other stats are nice too. Dex adds to block chance, I guess, and of course equipping your gear. But yep, mostly here just specifically for Cannot Be Frozen. And yeah, I'm using a Wisp Protector. For no really specific reason at all. It does have Lightning Absorb, but I kind of just like to have the aesthetic look of the pet It does give you some sort of kind of effect using one of the wisps, uh, but all in all, it's just kind of for look, for aesthetics. But I do use it. Typical T-Gods. T-Gods is awesome. I'm here for the Lightning Fury boost and the Lightning Strike boost. But it's not bad to have that 20 to strength and 20 to vitality, along with the defense and so forth, right? So and last but not least, of course, the Lightning Absorb, right? So both this one and this has Lightning Absorb. Whether or not they stack, I'm not too certain. I'm not that pro of a player, but maybe they do something. They do kind of help when it comes to the Black Souls down in Worldstone. For the gloves, I'm using these Lancer's Gauntlets. Um, you know, spend some time and be patient with Charcy or Anya, and you're bound to get one of these. It's really, really good to have the increased attack speed on this, and awesome to have the 3 to jab skills. I was lucky enough to find this coronet. 2 to Amazon skill levels, awesome. And it procced with 30% faster run walk. I added an IAS jewel to it. So all in all, this is kind of what I've been looking for. I want increased attack speed and I want run walk. Not bad at all. And last but not least, the armor. And most people would tend to use Chains of Honor, an Enigma, something else. And I'm trying to actually find an alternative to this, but I'm actually using a Treachery on this build as well. And again, I'm not here for the assassin skills. I'm not here really for the Venom or Fade. I'm mostly here just for that IAS, that 45% increased attack speed. I love that. And not to mention, the faster hit recovery is also pretty cool as well. So surprise, surprise, Treachery does have the chance to cast Fade, boost up my resistances when that happens, but it doesn't happen often, which kind of sucks. So again, I'm not here for that. I'm mostly here for increased attack speed. If that's the case down the line, I might opt for some other type of armor with 4 sockets, like a magic armor. And I might just collect a bunch of IAS jewels and potentially have 60 IAS just to play around with. But I'm here for the IAS. I think it's pretty awesome. So that's the gear. Let's go down to the charms. I've got just any torch. Traded it for a Haas that I had. Just a torch. Any torch is fine. Any charm is fine. So whatever. Nothing crazy there. Got a couple of random life charms here. Some random faster hit recovery. Anything that I found that might be useful to me. I do focus on hit recovery and run walk, but specifically I've got a bunch of run walks here. So run walk, one walk, more with a second attribute. I'll probably swap out, the empty ones once I do have a secondary attribute to the small charms, right? And I'll probably swap out all these down the line. I do have a lightning sunder charm. I wish it was lower. I wish it was like about 70. But it is what it is, and it does help in assistance with with all those monster lightning immunity monsters out there. There are some monsters that don't cut it all the way. So switching to Titan or to T-strokes actually helps with this. And the best part is I don't have to waste 2 Burr runes to put into an infinity. And then I have 2 passive skill charms right here. So again, this build is going to be centered around Lightning Fury. So you're going to want to max out Lightning Fury here. I've got 39, all of my gear, and taking into account plus the charms and all that, comes out to 39. Would be nice to get some Javazon skill charms down the line, but it is what it is. You get what you get. So yeah, try to max out Lightning Fury. And what I did is I just went ahead and maxed out all the rest of the synergies as well for Lightning Fury. So Lightning Strike, Charge Strike, and Lightning Bolt. These are the ones that I focused on when doing the synergies for it. I primarily use Lightning Fury, and I use Charge Strike when there's like 1 or 2 enemies on the screen. And that's that. That's pretty much it for that tree. I didn't maximize Power Strike because I don't know, I wanted to keep with the lightning theme. So Lightning Fury, Lightning Strike, Lightning Bolt, right? Just all lightning. Charge Strike, of course, because it's a great skill secondary when it comes to like a single enemy. Moving on to passive. I'm working my way to get Valkyrie on this build. I got to a point where I feel like it's pretty powerful, so I wouldn't mind having another tank alongside with me. But that's going to happen probably closer to level 90. One each to all of these, avoid, dodge, and evade, and one each to critical strike and penetrate. And I've actually put 7 into pierce to get closer to that point of the chance to pass through enemies. It's more than a 3/4 of the time. Getting that chance is fine with me. Other people like to use Razor Tail, but I like to stack my Lightning Strike or my Lightning Fury damage with T-Gods. But yeah, that's it for the skills and the equipment. And I'll be using Titans again for the run walk. You can just kind of just blast these guys here. It's pretty quick. We know she dominates. It's pretty awesome. Take a trip down to Shank. And it's all about being mobile, right? The Amazon is fast with run walk. But she's fast, she can go down here and throw a couple of lightning furies and they're all gone. Right? Here's my personal preference on why I like the Amazon and why she's my favorite character in the game. And let's start with how quickly you saw all the enemies go down, right? And that's very similar to how a Hammerden is, right? A Hammerden can go in and splish splash, throw a couple of hammers, and they're just kind of quickly melted away. And the Amazon is no different to the Hammerden as well. So if we can find a set of enemies, throw a couple of lightning bolts, and they're gone, right? And to me, it's actually faster than the Hammerden as well. You go through and you just throw a couple of spears and they're all down, just like that, just like you saw. Alright, so she has that power. She's faster mobility-wise as far as like walking is concerned. She's faster than a sorceress, unless you spec out and try to get run walk as well. My Tal Rasha sorceress is not that fast when it comes to walking. Of course, you do have teleport with the sorceress, right? Which leads me to my next point, is like this is also kind of like a cast element, right? So the action, the way that the sorceress does interact, the way that I like to play the sorceress is move around, throw, and throw, right? So it's very, very similar to a casting sorceress. But last but not least, she also does combine for an up-close attack, right? So melee type characters like Azil, I enjoy that action too, right? So you go up and you find an enemy, they're up close to you, you just can quickly destroy them and attack them like that, right? So you get this kind of variability between classes in a single class, and that's why I really enjoy the Amazon. So another reason why I like the Amazon, of course, is because she is known to be a great cattle hoarder. And what I mean, of course, is going into the secret cow level and running the cows altogether. And here's where I can kind of show you and showcase the, even more of her power that she holds. Cows can take some time, but she runs it so quick. I would say an assassin would probably run it pretty quick, but I just like the action of her cows. It's just the most fun to me. So quick. A Hammerden has to teleport and kind of get right on you. You gotta wait for the hammers to kind of get by. But there's no waiting for the Amazon. Just rally a bunch of cows together. See if we can rally some cows. Let's herd that cattle. Alright, get a bunch right here and just start throwing. And again, I'm not even using Enigma. I'm using a relatively easy armor, which is Treachery. And just really packs a punch. I see that this person has some lightning resistance. I'll switch to T-strokes. The Cow King, approaches. You can wreck shop even more with T-strokes. Not a problem. Super easy, right? She's so fun. She's so fast. Give you, that's her jab right there. Right, super fast. To me, it's faster than the hammered, and it's faster than a sorceress even. You know. And so I spend a lot of time playing cows, and I figured, hey, you know what? Let's make an awesome Javazon because they're just pretty much the best for this type of activity in Diablo. Um, and just all around pretty fun build. She's even she's even pretty good in the Worldstone. You do have to be very careful in the Worldstone because my character's a little squishy here. If there's souls, I tend to bail out and find another map or load up another map. But see, like there's souls there, right? But you can take on the souls, especially with T-strokes. Um, with Titans, I tend not to use Titans against the Black Souls, but you can actually use you could use T-strokes against Black Souls here, and if you do proc your Fade, you're kind of more defended as well. She's very squishy, and you got to be very careful. So that's pretty much it for this build, guys. I'm glad you stopped by to check her out. She is this Javazon, and she's pretty awesome. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.